Some drum corps shows have subtle messaging. Here's an example.
The Blue Devils 2025 show, Variations on a Gathering, challenges old-school drum corps. Traditional drum corps established its identity as a military-based brass medium.
Military bugle bands were the precursors of our modern-day civil drum corps.
The tradition of brass instruments continued and became its identity. Reed instruments have always been strictly forbidden. The battle cry was established: no woodwinds. Throughout the years, drum corps vilified and ostracized woodwind instrument players. Drum corps participants called woodwind players weak and overly sensitive. Rough and tumble corps of the 1970s mocked marching bands in order to preserve its own self-identity as masculine, loud, and powerful. Woodwind players were strictly forbidden by the VFW and American Legion Post rules for drum corps competitions in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Variations on a Gathering welcomes a new era. For the first time in DCI, solo woodwind players are allowed. The first time they can enter a field of competition. At the opening, we see a sunrise effect with tall chairs, a symbol of meeting around a table, on a new morning and a new day.
Variations on a Gathering. Drum Corps International is proud to present the Blue Devils!
Who stands at the 50-yard line all alone? It is the kid that we have kicked in the fucking balls for being a woodwind player, generation after generation, for 55 years, telling woodwind players that they are not welcome in drum corps. Are these proverbial drum corps members going to attack him like they always have? Are they encircling him and going to do him harm? The music is Alanis Morissette's Uninvited. He is on the 50-yard line alone, playing a solo to a hostile stadium of 30,000 people. Will the crowd attack him?
The soloist is welcomed and embraced and proceeds to the podium as the conductor of the entire ensemble.
The larger context of the show is the cultural trend of fascist exclusion. This show links the headlines of fascist government ostracizing and demonizing members of society. For example, currently, U.S. immigrants who have a criminal record are being targeted and removed without due process, along with anyone else who looks like them. An unfortunate slight, as Alanis Morissette says. Trans youth are being criticized and marginalized by the current administration. Haitian immigrants were recently accused of eating dogs, an absurd accusation. There is always a scapegoat in the crosshairs of a fascist administration. The subject of the show is inclusion, and how fascist cultures and governments vilify people as a method of demagoguery. Recent gatherings in the US protest the unfair treatment of marginalized groups in society. Scapegoating, targeting people, and dehumanizing them all contribute to a culture of violence, negativity, and profiteering. War and defense and security are profit-making ventures and must be stoked by hatred for outsiders. Those industries depend on making a target. Those governments depend on pinpointing an enemy.
But the scapegoat is now in charge. It took a gathering of millions of people to right the wrongs of history. The ending drill set is a symmetrical globe-like sphere, a symbol of balance and harmony after woodwinds have taken their place in this genre. A perfectly balanced globe on the 50-yard line rarely appears in modern drills now. This woodwind player in Variations on a Gathering changes the military tradition of brass-only instrumentation. This show has broken the chains of fascist military traditions. Drum corps is no longer a jingoistic symbol of the military-industrial complex. Drum corps is an art form now, filled with messages of inclusion and anti-establishment power. People working together, like birds in flight. The era of exclusion and targeting people who are different is over. This is a new era of balance, symmetry, and social justice, where the targeted scapegoat is now in power. The subtle messaging in drum corps show design is easy to miss. Like and subscribe for more insights.